Series.
And welcome to Windy City Sports Talk. It's your boy, Brandon Combs, along with my guy, Ryan Fitzgibbons. We are at the Fitzgibbons Pond compound. Fitzy, you got a little wet before the show.
Great new intro. Asshole. You're a traitor. We should talk about that. Taking the Packers in your bet. And that's what tied us up this week in our weekly picks. You had to take the Packers. Go Pack go.
It did tie us. It did make us go there. Look, I couldn't find a cheesehead to wear, so I got stuck wearing a White Sox jersey for this show. I feel so dirty right now.
Of 18 years since Paul Konerko hit a grand slam home run. But what's the reason I'm pissed at with the walk-off? I sat in that seat, the walk-off seat that the ball hit.
Just putting this jersey on made me feel like I should go get a line of Coke and buy a hooker.
Come on, man. The White Sox have taken enough hits this year.
They
sure have.
Yeah, I don't know if they got enough hits this year. I think that was a problem. No. But before we get to all the stuff we got to get to tonight, we got a lot of Bears stuff to get to. A lot of stuff was going on this week. We're also going to have video evidence of my guy, Ryan Fitzgibbons, taking a cold shower.
Yeah, good times.
Aiden was loving it. Your wife was loving it. When I got to your house today, your wife did, like, as soon as I walked through the door, she went to the fridge in the freezer and got all the ice in the bucket.
Yes, and then there was a piece of ice. You know when the ice like melts a little bit and then it like all like coagulates? There was like a big piece of ice she puts right in there, and it's like, you're gonna hurt me.
Yeah. I think that was kind of her point.
Yes.
I think that was kind of her goal, and I was there for it. I was there for every second of it.
You're a bad person.
I will continue to be there for it because it's just, that's kind of what I enjoy.
Yeah.
Your misery.
Yeah. Terrible misery. Hey, when we wax your mustache next week.
It's not going to be the mustache.
It's going to be the mustache.
No, it's
got to be the mustache.
It's going to be some leg hair. It's not going to be the mustache. It's not going to be the goatee. It's not going to be anywhere on my face. It's not going to be the arm. It's going to be right on the leg. I can't. I couldn't find any. Well, that's not true. I could have found wax strips. I just didn't have the time to, and it kind of slipped my mind this past weekend
too.
So look. It was a busy weekend. We had a lot of stuff going on. A lot of good college football was being played this weekend.
Excuses.
The Bears were playing. We got to see Tyson Bagent.
Oh, man.
Tear up.
Can you throw screen passes for your entire career and be an NFL quarterback? Or?
Well, that's kind of what I want to get into here first, because everybody went nuts after this game on Facebook talking about Tyson. One guy said Tyson Bagent is the next Tom Brady.
Oh my God.
He threw for 140 yards
on like 20 completion.
And last year, correct me if I'm wrong, but last year there was a stat similar in a Justin Fields game, and somebody was like, calm down, he only threw for 140 yards.
Yeah, even though he ran for like 80.
Now he's this
guy's gonna be
stop,
Drew Brees.
Man.
His coach said he was Drew Brees.
I can't
not 100% sure he's gonna be Drew Brees. Probably top Drew Brees, top 7, top 8 quarterback all time, maybe even top 5. I mean, it's a great story. We always have to do this where it's got to be like a lot better and bigger than it actually is. Like, it's a great story already.
Yeah.
The guy, he's going to Shepherd. It sounds like a high school on the south side. He's like, and he's, out of nowhere, doesn't go to any of the big name schools when they're looking at him a little bit, probably because he wasn't going to get a lot of playing time, but also because he's like, there's only a couple schools I want to go to. One was Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Notre Dame could have probably used him back then. Maybe not this year. I think Hartman's been pretty good, but He was great. I mean, he ran the offense competently. He got passes off. He passed them mostly where they have to be. I mean, he might get a wide receiver killed. Because he throws the ball high a lot, but I mean, he'll learn that. He didn't place the ball perfectly every single time, but just to run the offense and do all that at that age, coming up from where he was, is astounding. It doesn't have to be any more than that. If he's a top 10 backup quarterback, it'll be a great career for him. You never know. I think there's some ability issues there.
Look, he did some things yesterday a little bit better than what Justin Fields does. He gets rid of the ball faster. He's got more options with his arm angles. And I believe he throws to a spot better than what Justin Fields does. And I completely agree with all that. But he's not as good as Justin Fields, man. Like, he's not anywhere close to as good as Justin Fields because we've seen Justin Fields do this. 2 weeks ago, Justin Fields threw for 300 plus yards and 4 touchdowns. And we're talking about a kid who came out, took care of the ball, but played against the Raiders. Played against a team that is in the kind of the same boat your organization is in.
Yeah.
Played against a team with their backup and then eventually their third string quarterback because their backup was so damn bad. We went from Brian Hoyer to Aiden O'Connell, and Aiden O'Connell was in for only a quarter and a half maybe, and he had almost as many passing yards
as Jed Hoyer.
As Jed Hoyer.
But Hoyer.
I'm not going to tell you that he's better. What I am going to tell you is that Justin Fields is done in Chicago. He's lost the fan base. I don't believe he ever really had the coaching staff's approval. I don't believe that this organization has the ability to even obviously develop his issues, and that's not going to happen. I think he is done in Chicago, and I think that it's better for his career that he's done in Chicago because I think he's going to go, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's the Rams, or whether it's some other organization with an offensive-minded head coach and an offensive coordinator that knows how to develop a quarterback.
The Rams would be interesting.
I think he would win a Super Bowl this year. If he goes to the Rams by Halloween night, which is the trade deadline, he wins a Super Bowl this year with the Rams. He makes the Rams instantly a contender.
Yeah, I mean, wow, with McVay, that'd be something.
Yeah.
And I wonder if those coaches
Bears
are thinking about that. I wonder, yeah, they do. But what did they do with Tyson Bagent? They designed an entire game plan around his talents, which is what they should have done in the beginning of the year with Justin Fields.
Did they, though? Did they develop? Because what I watched in the first quarter was the same chicken shit play calling.
Oh, there was some.
In the first half,
there was some of that.
It was the same chicken shit play calling.
Yeah, I mean.
That you had. But then they came out in the second half.
Coordinator.
Well, no. But they came out in the second half and they started airing it out. And they're like, oh, okay, the kid can throw a little bit. Let's keep doing this. And he even audibled a couple times. There are a couple times you watched him go up to the line of scrimmage and he audibles out of it. A rookie from Division II.
Like what I said. He got all the details right.
From a Division II school is telling Luke Getsy, your play call's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah, and I mean, there were some questionable plays at the end of the half too, when their clock management was ridiculous. They just let the clock run out. They take the air right out of the entire stadium, not to even say the ball.
Yeah,
and it was just so annoying. I mean, why would you not take a timeout there? I mean, what are you worried about there? An interception for a touchdown?
Yeah.
Well, then take a timeout and run the ball. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You want more plays, don't you?
Chicken shit play call at the end of the first half.
And who is calling that? Is that Eberflus saying,
No, I'm pretty sure it's it's probably good. I mean, it might be Eberflus too. He's
Saying,
not.
look, we're playing conservative here. We're letting the clock run.
Jeremiah Murray says Atlanta offers you a second round pick right now. You taking it?
Are they drafting a quarterback next year? If they are, if they're doing that,
Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder is obviously not the guy, and they were high on Desmond Ridder. They liked him for some reason.
They were
and
high.
I don't
but
understand.
Not on Desmond Ridder.
Kind of the same reason I didn't understand the Niners liking Trey Lance, right? Like it was just I was like, what are you looking at? And
Trey Lance has more talent than Desmond Ridder, though.
Well, right, but to Jeremiah's point, I need more than a second round pick. I need a second, a fourth, and maybe even 2 seconds in a fourth for Justin Fields, a guy who has shown the ability to be a star in this league, but just hasn't been with anybody with the ability to display that. Like they give up if they give him up for only a second round pick. I mean, I don't know. I've got to get more for Justin Fields because you've got to.
What do they get a year and a half? The team he goes to,
they get a year and a half.
Pretty cheap though.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're getting better than a second round pick. I mean, if Trey Lance got the 4th round pick, he's got nothing on tape, but he is Trey Lance.
Yeah, but Justin Fields can point to a lot of things and a lot of holes and be like, this is look, if they only get a second round pick, I would be disappointed. I would not take that deal for just a second round pick. You give me a second, a fourth, and maybe even a third next year, then I'm in. But for just a second round pick, as Jeremiah poses the question, no, I'm not. I would not take that. You would?
I mean, if they're drafting a quarterback anyway, you got to get something for him. You can't just let him go from the team. Schwarber setting records, by the way.
I love watching the Philadelphia Phillies play baseball. I really do. And I love what we're seeing in the AL with a Game 7 tonight. I actually picked Texas in 7 in this series. I picked them at the beginning of the playoffs to win the ALCS in 7 against Houston. And I picked them to play against Philadelphia in the World Series. I just hate that we're watching Schwarber and Castellanos hit bomb after bomb.
Playing some good ball. I can't believe they let that game slip away the other night. But that Diamondbacks team is pretty good, and they're on the up, man. And their team could be trouble for years to come.
Last I checked, they were down 4-1 tonight. Arizona's down Arizona's up 4-1 tonight.
2 Game 7s.
I mean, Philadelphia can come back. I mean, Philadelphia can score on a drop of a hat. I mean, this thing, it might not be over yet, but I can't stand watching guys that should be Cubs playing. Just like I'm sure it's hard for you. I texted you the other night, so I know it's hard for you. When I said, because I messaged you, and I said it's actually cool to watch Jose Abreu in October with a chance to win. And you said you were going to burn down my entire house.
Your entire house. I mean, Michelle's area it's okay. But I want you to go through pain and anguish. I
don't know. But the Bears, getting back to the Bears, and we'll definitely talk some more baseball here in a little bit. But the Bears, in what they're looking at with Justin Fields, with Tyson Bagent, who, don't get me, the kid looked all right. If they find a way to beat the Chargers on Sunday, they then have I believe it's the Steelers and the Panthers before they play the Lions. They could be 5-5 heading into that game against the Lions. Well, I'm telling you, no.
And the Cubs are going to win 86 games.
Would you let me finish my thought before you go crazy on me? They would probably be the worst 500 team of all time
in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
I don't know. I have a different thought on this. I mean, they got some talent there. That secondary is pretty damn good.
Okay.
Their running back room is really good. Their quarterback room, you have to say, is pretty good.
Yeah.
You have to say it. You have 2 guys who can win you a game. in
Well,
that quarterback room.
Then let me ask you my question that I was getting to.
Okay.
If they're back to 5-5, that's when Justin Fields supposedly is going to be healthy again to play. And if they haven't traded him, and they're 5-5, which means Tyson Bagent is 4-0, is Justin Fields their quarterback?
Unbelievable.
I'm asking you a question.
Such a
Is Justin Fields their quarterback?
Sports radio question.
Well, we're a sports podcast that's trying to get on radio, so it's a good question though, because do you take Tyson Bagent out if he's 4-0 with look? I get it. He's got the same offensive line. He's got the same weapons. He's got the same thing. Everything Justin Fields has. He would be 4-0 while Justin Fields would be 1-5.
How do we get to 4-0? Is it a Kyle Orton 4-0?
With this defense?
I don't know.
With this
given
defense,
up 44 points in the last 3 games.
With this defense, they're going to have to score 27 points a game, especially against the Chargers and the Steelers. Those two aren't going. Those two teams can score.
The Chargers, the Steelers.
The Steelers put up 27 yesterday.
The
Steelers beat who'd the Steelers beat yesterday? Everybody was picking against them yesterday, including you. I picked
Ravens.
the Steelers in that game. No, it wasn't the Ravens. That was the Lions.
Sorry.
But I had the Steelers. I think
Ravens beat up the Lions.
Kenny Pickett and they got Deontay Johnson back. And this team,
Pittsburgh has beaten the Ravens this year, though, too.
They have beaten the Ravens.
They have beaten 2 pretty good teams.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers have,
but they're due to lose their next game.
It's not the Bears that they play. I was wrong anyway. But the Steelers have they beat the Rams 24-17 in LA. I mean, and the week before that, they beat the Ravens, they beat the Raiders, and they beat the Browns, who have the number 1 ranked defense in the league. They're 4-2. The Steelers are.
Was Deshaun Watson playing in that Browns game?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
He was. The Steelers are better than people think. Who the hell do the Bears have? I'm looking at it because I know it was like one of those games where it should be winnable. Going to their schedule right here, right now. The Saints. I'm sorry, the Saints. It's the Chargers, Saints, and Panthers before they play the Lions.
Oh, the Panthers.
You've got to win that game.
If you lose to the Panthers.
Can you imagine the only Panthers win is against you and the Broncos? The Broncos then get the number 1 pick because you beat the Panthers.
That is what happens if you lose to the Panthers. The entire city.
They're not going to lose to the Panthers. Not. Oh God.
No, I don't think so. Not with this secondary, and that line's getting a little better. The defensive line, the offensive line's still having some trouble. I mean, they dominated, they played well, but there's still a lot of problems there.
I don't.
Larry Borum got 2 holding penalties on running plays. Sorry, it's not going to do it for me.
Yeah.
There's a running back. You're protecting a running back? What's happening here? He's bad at football.
So Michael Buckheister posted, and he was saying this morning on the Man Hour that the Bears are better with Tyson Bagent than they are with Justin Fields.
Obviously, he did. Always with hot takes. Michael Skip Bayless Buckheiser.
I knew this. I texted you before the game and said this was going to happen, didn't I?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, do you think he has arm strength? He said after the game he has a cannon. They said, well, while Nathan Peterman came in, do they have a problem with your arm strength or something? He's like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have a cannon. I got a cannon. Tyson Bagent said that. Why are you looking at me like that?
Did you watch him throw a ball? He does not have a cannon.
He has a cannon in Pop Warner football. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see one pass down the field, really. I mean, he threw a couple over the middle where if the Raiders had an okay defense, he probably gets one of his receivers decapitated. And I'm not saying he did bad. It's okay to say
that was another stupid move,
spot.
by the way, that I had a problem with. What? Nathan Peterman coming in for that.
Oh, my God. Play. It was... That Hail Mary play was so terrible.
And like he doesn't even get to throw off. He doesn't get what? No, it got blocked. He got hit as he threw it and it went out of bounds.
I thought it ended up being called a fumble,
but he just like what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, you're hyping this kid up, and we're gonna bring in Nathan Peterman to throw a fucking Hail Mary at the end of the first half. Let us see what the kid has. And if the ball dies out at the 30, then we know.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they didn't want to show teams that. Maybe that was it. Oh, he might not make it. He's Shane Matthews all over
if
again.
He can't throw the ball 50 yards
Shane Matthews
in the NFL.
Couldn't. They have another guy who can't throw the ball that everybody loves. Well, no one really loves Shane Matthews.
I don't even know who he is.
He was the backup when Jim
TJ
Miller.
O'Sullivan was quarterback.
He was the backup when Jim Miller was quarterback. He was the backup, and Jim Miller could throw down the field. He had quite a strong arm. And then Shane Matthews would come in and it'd just be wow.
Jeremiah Murray says, you didn't hear Crosby's name get called a ton on Sunday. That means something. Yeah, we got away with a lot of holding. That's what we got away with a lot of holding. Because there was at one point they panned in on Max Crosby talking to the referee. He's like, this guy can't block me. He's holding me on every play. and they threw a couple of flags after that.
They did.
We got away with a lot of holding.
He got past Wright, but I thought Wright did okay in the game. I mean, I think Wright's been above average.
Right.
I don't think with linemen you expect them to be all pros their rookie year. So
Jeremiah also says, by the way, you're spot on. Bagent is Kyle Orton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see much different. Kyle Orton could actually zip it in there a little bit, but
Kyle Orton was a serviceable quarterback.
Yeah, he was. He could have been a top 10 backup. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And Kyle Orton was from fucking Purdue. I mean, Bagent is from Shepherd High School, whatever the hell.
If I could be an awesome athlete and get paid to play in the pros, I would like to be a third string quarterback.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Get paid to just sit on the bench. Anybody who is ashamed of being a top 10 backup, you're an idiot.
That's great. I mean, look at Brian Jed Hoyer. He's been a backup for a decade. The guy's a millionaire. Look at Chase Daniels, barely ever played. Look at Tim Jenkins. He's still making money, saying stuff about quarterbacks on his thing. He was backing up for years. He backed up Brady.
Yeah.
Look at Shane Matthews. Don't look at Shane Matthews. Don't look him up. Don't look him up.
I don't know who he is, but I am going to look him up. He couldn't
throw the ball in the air 50 yards. There's no way. He couldn't. Unless there was a rocket up his ass.
Jeremiah Murray says, Chase Daniels' bank account would like to agree with you.
Yes. I'd like to get his bank account number, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. 110%.
Right after you steal money from the state of Mississippi.
Look, I told you in text message, if I could figure out how to do it, I would have already done it. That's
Mississippi needs that money. I mean, come on.
They don't.
They barely have running water there.
Well, I mean, so does Michigan.
Are we going to get emails from
Detroit
angry Mississippians?
No,
I can't believe that.
They don't even have internet. What are we doing? Why are they listening to a Chicago sports show? What are we doing? But no, I don't know what the Bears are going to do. I fully believe that they might trade Justin Fields by next Tuesday.
If you're done, you trade him. You just do. I don't think you should trade him. I think he's going to be a monster somewhere. But if you don't think that's going to happen here, if you still think you're way behind on where your team is at, maybe it is better for him.
If they win again with Bagent on Sunday against the Chargers, do they trade him on Tuesday?
Is he healthy?
You don't have to be healthy to get traded.
And it's really only his hand. So now his whole body's healthy. So he's going to go to a team where his entire body is healthy. And then his hand is obviously better.
Yep.
And he's like starting the season from scratch.
You're going to have to rebuild his head to trust an offensive line.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do some major work with
it. And Bagent did the same thing. And a lot of people are saying, he got the ball out a lot, but he held on to the ball a lot too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, I'm guessing, I didn't see all the routes, but I'm guessing the wide receivers were going to the same spot again.
Yeah, and there was one point where, a few points.
Where he ran right into right into the defensive line.
Or where the defensive ends were coming around and they're coming around from behind him. So he tried going backwards to go forward as opposed to just stepping up in the pocket and making a pass. Yeah. He did it once where he just threw the ball away too early because a split second later, you're looking at he's got Mooney wide open in the end zone.
He had Komet wide open across the middle, which happens to a lot of it does happen to a lot of quarterbacks.
Oh yeah,
I think sometimes we get so insane with quarterback play. We want Patrick Mahomes. There's only one team that gets him.
Even Patrick Mahomes misses.
Yeah, he misses too, but I'm just saying.
We just don't highlight it, though, because it's not fun to talk about.
We need a guy who's exceptionally well. Yes. When you did have a guy who had 11 touchdowns and 5 I mean, you do have a guy who was playing well, somewhat well.
I bet if we broke down the Chiefs all 22, there'd be some plays where we looked at him and be like, oh, wow. He missed that play too. And it would look a lot similar to what we're seeing with Justin Fields, where but the problem is people want to blow. The difference is the Chiefs are winning. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs are winning. So those mistakes don't get highlighted. Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, well, why would you want to go in with a broken Justin Fields? I said, Justin Fields is not broken. Everything around Justin Fields is broken. The offensive line, we've got one good wide receiving option. We've got no offensive line, no offensive coordinator, no head coach, no leadership on this team whatsoever. The defense is trash. So, yes, Justin Fields is going to struggle. What part of that don't people understand?
Also, if your defense is giving up every third down, your offense isn't going to be on the field that long. So you're not going to have a great game. If you're playing 40 and 50 plays as an offense, you're not going to have a good game.
Jeremiah says, if you look at the resurgence of Goff in Detroit, do you keep him and model your team around them? Maybe with their OC as your head coach. Talking about Justin Fields.
I just think there's a known commodity with Justin Fields. I guess you can say he's never going to get over. Maybe he has the yips or something, holds the ball too long every once in a while. Maybe you got to know your player at this point. And the bullshit thing about the Bears is they spent a whole year with Matt Nagy. So you get in a whole new coaching staff and a whole new GM who don't trust this kid, who no one's sitting there by this kid saying, dude, you have a cannon. And you run... You're like the slipperiest player in the NFL, or one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're breaking tackles from defensive end tackles and tackles.
And he can put the ball on a dime. We've seen it.
Yeah, he can, especially down the field. I mean, and that's the hardest part to get to. A lot of quarterbacks can never do that. You can't really teach that.
Right.
You could teach the intermediate throws eventually. At this team or this coaching staff even wants to teach them. I don't know. Is there anybody saying that to them?
You can teach. You can teach a new arm angle. You can teach a new mechanics to get rid of the ball faster. You can teach all of the things that Justin Fields struggles with right now are teachable things. We see it all the time in a relative sport in baseball. We see it all the time where guys, they switch up their batting stance.
Yeah.
And they come in with a completely different swing, a completely new stance. They do it in the offseason. They work on it in the offseason. But here's the thing. They have coaches that understand what they're watching, that understand how to fix it, that understand how it will relate to gameplay.
Yeah, I mean,
the Bears don't have that.
There was a resurgence of players, a resurgence of players over one season who started doing uppercut swings, started, launch angle swings. And it took them a whole year, to do it in the offseason, but they did it. But you had a whole damn offseason, and you come out and you play the Matt Nagy offense, basically, in the first 3 games, inexplicably.
Right.
What are you doing? And there is even some plays talk about audibling where Bagent is out of the pocket in half a second. Yeah. He doesn't even give it time to mature. It's not even a bootleg, really. He's just running out of the pocket because the play isn't there. And you're still trying to do, you're right. They're still trying to do some weird stuff. But most of the time, the game plan was for Bagent. Then why wouldn't you do that with other quarterbacks? I mean, why wouldn't you do that with your starting quarterback?
That was just like last week when they brought Bagent in, and then they switched out Whitehair, and they're like, oh well, we wanted our top center to play with Bagent. Well, if he was available, why wasn't he playing with your starter?
Yeah, what is...
Are you like? Did you just admit to us that you're setting Justin up to fail? Did you like? What are you saying when you say, "Hey, we want to"? For me,
This
it
was our guy.
It was the
He
bad.
was our
It was
guy.
the bad snaps.
We found a diamond in the rough. Look at how good. Look at how smart we are.
Yeah.
And I coached him up. I'm Luke Getzey. I have a fupa.
He is.
I'm Luke Getzey. I'm 5 inches from being the Hobbit. That's all I got. That was bad. Where's my rim shot?
Are you ready for a Fitz gibberish?
Am I ready? As soon as I get the sounder up.
As soon as I get the sounder up. What do you mean as soon as you get the sounder up? Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's a diatribe. It's a conspiracy theory. And it's an island in the middle of unapologetic and sometimes inaccurate sports talk. Yes, Tyson Bagent started on Sunday, and I had one question for you. Why does Tyson Bagent look like Pee Wee Herman fucked Paul Walker?
Oh boy.
I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I see the resemblance. Anyway, the most exciting player in football last year, or at least the top 5 most exciting players, came from the Bears QB position last year. Now, he has held the ball too long, as we have showed in the first 3 games, and he held the ball for 6 seconds in the play that hurt his right hand and might spell the end of him in Chicago. But there is another problem in Chicago, and Jeremiah asked about it on the chat. How did we get here? Larger people. I won't lie, I'm not exactly skinny. I like pizza, and I love French fries. Just as well as the next sleep apnea patient. Chicago, though, is legendarily big. It is the Babe Ruth of large people. If Babe Ruth played cheeseburger eating contests instead of baseball his whole life, which he kind of did. Chicago is so large and so obese. We Indianians are terrified we're going to tip in your direction and land in your greasy mouths, followed by a ranch sauce and a cheese stick kicker. Washed down with a Miller Lite, whiskey, and tears. The CDC agrees with me, Combs. Obesity is a major problem in Chicago. We're 36.2% of the city's high school students and 61% of adults in the metropolitan area are overweight or obese. All this talk is making me hungry for more lasagna. My left arm is tingling a little bit and I have chest pains. Anyway, if that is the case, why? If I can get to the tape, why in the hell, if we have such large people, is this happening?
What the
I gotta play it again. Loving you. Yeah. Push them. Why push them?
How did they end up blocking each other? Like they looked at each other and then continued to block each other.
Why, if we're so fat in this city?
You cannot play quarterback like this.
Or a Windy City Sports Fig.
False start. Offense. The entire offensive line.
But this is Beardham. That is Beardham. You'd think a town with 61% of the public are obese. We would find some good giant motherfuckers to fucking protect the QB. You would think we would be experts in the movements of largesse among us. It's like going to Vegas and finding out everyone sucks at poker or unprotected sex. But again, this is Beardham. We are smack dab in the middle of football wasteland. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the capital of inept offensive line play and have been for years. It's practically a tradition in a town where you can't throw a rock without hitting a pizza place or a raster scooter. The last all-pro left tackle. The last all-pro left tackle. Jimbo Covert. Go ahead, look it up. He was on the only Super Bowl winning team in 1985 for the Bears. He hasn't played since the Bush administration. George H.W. Sr., not his son. He retired before Desert Storm was fought. I was 10. I have a receding hairline. Do you think there is a correlation or a causation here? Not having an all-pro left tackle and having shit QBs for 40 years. I think it's the cause. Like sucking down Twizzlers with a Pepsi Big Gulp gives you diabetes. It's the cause. Now, Tyson Bagent could be good. I think his ceiling, like I said, is top 10 backup QB, but willing to keep an open mind. His story from undrafted free agent to starting QB is inspiring and why we watch sports. Just warning everyone that before the end of the game next Sunday, you might see this, and I don't have it pulled up. Nathan Peterman! That's Fitz gibberish, everyone.
I just snorted. Well,
actually, I'll have it pulled up in a second.
This is probably...
You erased it from the deck.
I did not. I didn't... I didn't even know it was up there.
It's okay.
God.
False start. Offense. The entire offensive line.
Yeah.
So Jeremiah says they were two heroes in an action movie going back to back shooting their way out of a shitty situation. Look.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Peterman.
And that's the guy that they brought in to throw the Hail Mary. Infinite wisdom of the Chicago Bears. This team is always going to be bad, I think. I think this team is always, as James Wally Dowling chimes in, says, great show. Thank you, Wally. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.
But I don't think this organization, and this is what I've told everybody. All of you people out there talking about we need to go draft Caleb Williams, just stop. The Bears should not draft a quarterback. It is a wasted pick if they draft a quarterback because they've shown over the course of the last 40 years that they cannot develop a homegrown quarterback. So you go out and you get the best available game managing quarterback that is a veteran that you can find, because you drafting a quarterback is wasting your draft pick. You go out and get the best offensive lineman available. You go out and get the best wide receiver available, and you build around that. This organization picking another quarterback is a joke. Until the McCaskies are gone and out of the picture, this organization will never have a franchise quarterback. We will never have a relevant offense. We're going to have to win with a running game, and we're going to have to win through defense. I'm done with hoping that we can finally be good offensively, because it's never going to happen.
Or what about getting some protection for your current quarterback? You don't have to
They
go
don't like their
outside.
current quarterback. They don't want him. He's not their guy, and they've proven that week after week.
So it's Bagent mania.
Maybe it's Bagent mania, but maybe it's Kirk Cousins coming in here next year.
Jeremiah says that's about as cowardly as the Bears game plan.
But that's what I'm telling. Do you want to go through another 4 years of watching a guy in Caleb Williams not be able to develop because this organization can't develop him, and then have to go through this again 4 years from now? Because this is what we've done for the last 8 seasons. Waited for them to develop a quarterback that they drafted, and it hasn't happened. We waited for it when they drafted all sorts of different quarterbacks.
Trubisky, Grossman.
Yes.
Now Fields.
It never happened.
They even bring in Cutler.
When was the last quarterback that the Bears drafted that they signed out of their rookie contract, that they picked up the 5th-year option on?
Sid Luckman?
It's never happened. It's never in the history of the Chicago Bears.
Sid Luckman
They have never picked up a 5th-year option on their quarterback. Never.
What about Jim Harbaugh? No, I don't think Jim Harbaugh.
It's never happened. I looked it
What
up.
about a guy who couldn't throw?
It's never happened.
I say you keep Fields. I mean, why not? He's becoming a veteran before our eyes. I think he's getting better at the position.
I mean,
he gets to a point. Maybe he looks at what Bagent did and said, if I add that to my game.
Yes. I would keep Fields. You would keep Fields. Jeremiah would keep Fields. But the Bears have shown week in and week out since they drafted Justin Fields, and since this new regime has come in,
it's always
that he's not their guy.
There's always something better.
Yeah, they don't have his back. They don't do anything to build around him. They don't build a game plan around him. They want him to conform to the game plan. And that's not what you do with quarterbacks these days. With quarterbacks that are this talented, you find what works for them. Why do you think the Chiefs are so successful? Do you think that if we're watching Mahomes throw interception after interception on those blind passes that he makes, those crazy passes that he makes, and he makes them,
he does,
because they developed him. They built everything around him. They went out and got running backs that will come back to the ball after blocking if their quarterback is in trouble. They went out and got wide receivers that know how to run routes and know how to come back to a ball when their quarterback is in trouble. They got wide receivers that know that their quarterback's going to run around for a little while, and eventually somebody's going to come off of you and you're going to get open, find a spot.
They got a stud tight end.
Yes.
I guess not everybody gets Travis Kelce. I mean, you got Cole Kmet, but
and if I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, if Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the Chicago Bears in 2018, Patrick Mahomes would be a backup somewhere, because the Bears would have ruined him. And that's what they will do with any quarterback that they draft. And I agree with it. Jeremiah Murray here says, beef up the offensive line and D line and move forward with Justin. That's a great idea. And you or I or Fitz, if we were sitting in the front office, we would do that. But we're not sitting in the front office. And this front office has already shown they're not going to do it. The McCaskies, over the course of 40 years, have shown us they're not going to do that. This football team does not do that. And I agree with you. It's the right call.
I mean,
but they're not going to do it.
You haven't even had a mediocre left tackle in 15, 20 years. Reuben Brown's probably the last one. No. And he was old and on his way out. And they got lucky. He had a few good years left.
And what they do, they drafted a left tackle and they moved him to guard. Because that's what the Bears do. I am so... Look, and you can probably hear it in the way I talk. I'm just done with the Bears. I will be a Bears fan till I die, and I will watch this team, and I will root for them, and I hope that they win. But in order for this team to win, they're going to have to get lucky, or the McCaskies are going to have to sell. That's the only logical explanation that you can come up. They're going to either A, have to get lucky, and find somebody that they find a coaching staff and they happen to find, or the McCaskies back off finally and say, hey, look, Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, we hired you guys to do a job. We're going to step back. You guys do whatever you need to do. Here's our checkbook. Let us know. This is your limit. This is what you can spend every year. We're not going to have any influence on it. It's not going to happen, though. It's never happened.
I just don't get how you...
Tell me I'm wrong. I wish you would tell me I'm wrong.
It's hard to tell you I'm wrong. I just don't think that I don't think they're football people. I don't think they... maybe that's the problem, too. They got Taylor's boyfriend.
I hope Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes fall out of that suite doing that handshake. I hope it happens on live TV so I can watch it. Because I can't do it. I hate watching. It drives me nuts.
I still don't think that's real. The whole Taylor Swift Kelsey thing. I don't think it's real. It just doesn't.
Did you hear she bought her suite in Kansas City? She now has her own suite in Kansas City.
She made $1 billion.
Well, I know,
from the
but I'm just saying,
public.
She's going to be at every Chiefs game. She bought a suite. How awkward is that going to be if they break up before the season ends?
Yeah, I know. Oof.
You better come. Travis Kelce better come bring in the heat at Christmas time for a gift. What do you get Taylor Swift for Christmas that won't end your relationship?
An ass.
I said that won't end your relationship. He had a girl with an ass, and then he left her for Taylor Swift.
Well, when you're the best tight end in the league,
I guess
you can't really run anymore, though. When he was trying to run, and then when he had the long play, he's trying to run. He could barely run, but he's a great player. I mean, I just don't get how year in and year out they're this terrible, that the offensive line play is this bad. It's the same thing year after year.
Jeremiah's drunk.
I do think they backed off. I think Kevin Warren is in charge. The Bears do spend money now. Well, they have to spend a certain amount of money, around the cap, don't they? Or they get penalized. Yes. So they have to spend a certain amount of money.
What have they spent money on?
But they don't spend money. What they should be doing is they should be going to Ann Arbor with a blank check, in my mind.
They bargain shop for linebackers because they didn't want to pay Roquan Smith. They didn't go out and get a good offensive lineman in the offseason because they didn't want to pay Orlando Brown. They didn't do anything that was needed because they didn't want to spend the money. So I fail to see what you're talking about when you say they spend money now.
Well, they have to at least spend some money.
They spend some money
below the cap or at the cap.
Yes. They spend bare minimum, though.
I just think on the coaches and everybody around the organization and scouting, that's where it's what are they spending? Are they spending on people who can innovate, who are with teams that innovate? I guess we thought Ryan Poles was that guy. I mean, he's made a lot of mistakes, I think, already in not even 2 years. And then you look at, like I said, if you want a sure thing as a head coach, if you want a real head coach, not John Fox, who's on his way out, or the myriad of coordinators that you've upgraded or promoted throughout the years who didn't deserve to be promoted. Dick Duran was a fine coordinator, but he couldn't speak. Mark Trestman was weird. I mean, Matt Nagy was almost as weird.
Yes.
And probably a psychopath.
Jeremiah says it's a rebuild. They're spending wisely now. Previous years they spent up to they're not spent. That's what I'm telling you, though. I don't care. I don't care if they spent $1 billion on this team. I don't care because they're not spending it in the right places. The money they do spend, they spend in the wrong places.
Yeah, but
who on this team are they paying?
I'm just saying that why not give Jim Harbaugh a chance here? He obviously wants the job. From all reports, they could be lies. I mean, what do I know? I'm not talking to Jim Harbaugh every other day.
Kim Borzelli chimes in, says, bye-bye, baby. I don't know.
Is that to you? Is that Max?
I have no clue. No, I don't know who Kim Borzelli is, but thank you for chiming in.
Love in there?
I appreciate it. Or maybe she's saying Bill Belichick. I don't know.
Up your butt, Jobu.
Kim, let us know what you mean by BB. I thought it was baby, but maybe it's a Taylor. Is that a Taylor Swift song? Maybe she's talking about Taylor.
Oh,
T-Swizzle?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, T-Swizzle.
T-Swizzle. That's what they call her. Gotta catch up.
Pee-wee.
Gotta catch up with the kids now. You know. James Wally Dowling says he would fit perfectly here.
Jim Harbaugh. Why not? Stanford turns around that program. 49ers turns around that program. Goes to Michigan. Michigan is a middling team with a lot of talent. Turns
Jim
around.
Harbaugh did not turn around the 49ers. Colin Kaepernick did. Thank you very much.
Oh, my.
Just kidding. Kidding.
Is that the new Nike campaign?
That was just a joke.
No, I mean, you did well with a running quarterback. Did really well with a running quarterback. I mean, what fits his scheme to his players, is willing to adapt, has shown he's willing to adapt, and everywhere he's gone. Wants to come back to the NFL. Would love to come back to the Bears and, maybe avenge his terrible quarterback play while he was here. Why not? Gets people around him, makes communities.
Would that hire make you excited?
Talented. Yeah, it would make me excited. And it would mean they're spending money, because you're going to spend a lot of money on Jim Harbaugh to get him out of that college poo-tang.
Jeremiah says Andy has a mean khaki game.
Yes, he does. I think he wears a fanny pack under the top of the khaki. It's very pleasing.
I need an offensive-minded guy. I would be all right with Jim Harbaugh. I would be more happy with a guy like... I mean, again, I gotta know that who we're moving forward. Like, I gotta know which quarterback we're moving forward with too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want Jim Harbaugh coming in here coaching, Caleb Williams or Justin Fields, because those guys aren't guys that Jim Harbaugh is comfortable coaching.
I don't know. He coached Kaepernick. He ran around a lot. Had a good arm.
He had one good season. So did Mitch Trubisky. And then after that, he went 8-8 and 2-10 before he got benched.
He cultivates talented people, not just players, but people who can call plays, people who can bring in things, people who can do things.
Jim Harbaugh likely comes with Greg
around
Roman.
A quarterback.
He says he likely comes with Greg Roman. You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Do you know who Greg Roman is?
He's Greg Roman. I don't care who he comes with is the answer. I mean, he comes with a big fucking price tag. I know that. Jeremiah also said that coaches, he's right. Coaches they don't pay coaches a lot of money. They either pay a coach when he's on his way out. I heard reports that they might be thinking about Belichick. Are you kidding me?
Well, it is time. We were terrible with our picks this week.
Awful.
It was a bad week.
I knew the Bills were going to lose
for our picks. I did not know that the Bears were going to lose.
I mean the Bills.
Or the Bills, I mean. And I definitely thought that the Packers would win. And I thought I was going to take you out with the Packers. And they lost by 2 points. Boy, I was happy to be wrong. Jordan Love he looks terrible. But we do this thing every week where it's our wheel of death. And the last time that we tied, I bit the bullet and took one for the team. And this time you're going to bite the bullet and take one for the team. But first, we've got a new intro for the wheel of death. You ready?
Yes.
You're going to react live to this.
Okay.
Here we go.
All our lives hang by a thread. Now we've got a man waiting for sentence. But ain't it the truth? You take your chances with the law. Justice is only a roll of the dice, a flip of the coin, a turn of the wheel.
This is the wheel of death.
And here we go.
What do you think? You like it?
It looks great. I love it. I'm pumped up.
You're pumped up to spin one more time?
Do you have the video for the punishment too? Get that together. I'll take 3 spins this time.
I do have the video for the punishment. I'm trying to pull it up right now, but we'll get to it.
Doubting Thomas checking in a little later than usual. Just checking in. Combs looking like Ron Carcavice. Yeah.
I had to do it. I couldn't find a Packerhead. So I was like, all right, what's the next worst thing on my list?
False start.
And so I decided I'll go with the old school White Sox jersey because I don't completely hate the jersey.
Stop that!
I own the jersey.
Stop that! Right?
And it's Tim Anderson. And you know I love me some Tim Anderson.
Yeah.
Even though he's going to be playing for the Mets next year.
Stop that!
All right, so we're going to go 3 spins.
3 spins.
All right, here
Let's
we go.
do it.
Let's
Come
see what
on.
we're doing.
Inedible. Well, not this one. I can't do a show blindfolded.
Inedible.
Oh, you shouldn't play. Shut up, dude. Like, just shut your mouth.
Oh, that was spin number 1.
Shut up.
Here we go. Spin number 2.
The edibles I have are so. Oh man.
Donate $20 to host sports betting. Damn it.
False start.
Damn it. All right. And the fateful spin number 3. Here's your choice of death.
Edible. I don't see it.
Twice in a row.
False start.
I got some free betting on you, baby.
Get your mouth shut. Get your mouth shut. Jerk.
Here's what I'll do, though. If I win with your money, I'll split.
I like it.
See? I'll be nice. I don't know why, but I'll be nice. I'm just going to tell you I lost. That wasn't that bad. I mean, at least you don't have to wax a body part.
It wasn't that bad. Could have been worse. You do look like
So-
Ron Carcavice.
I'm trying to show the...
What
I'm
is
trying to
happening
show...
here? And then they both push each other. That's early onset CTE.
All right. While I try to get this thing going, I'm trying because we did do the Ryan did do the ice bucket challenge as his punishment today. His son definitely was.
Here's the video.
Like Marvis's father, Joe, Marvis must move or we're going to be out of here very, very quickly. Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt. He's hurt as well.
You got knocked the fuck out, man. Give me my...
So here's what I'm going to do because I can't get it up right now. I'm actually going to. That's what she said. I'm going to share it to our Facebook page, to the show's Facebook page, because for some reason it says the file is too large for me to get it up on here. So
You gotta send it to me. Send it to my email.
I
You
am.
can't send it to my email?
No, it wouldn't let me send it to any email.
Can't you
So
go to the StreamYard on your phone? No, I guess not.
I am going to put it in here. I'm uploading it right now. So for anybody who wants to see this video, you can go to the Facebook page. Hopefully it'll upload quick and then I can pull it up here. But we will see. See how it goes.
Doubting Thomas. Combs can't get it up.
Yeah. It's a problem. But I'm going to check right now to see if it is uploaded.
All right, while you're babbling, Could we continue to talk sports? Is that okay with
Yes,
you? Or,
let's do that.
Or whatnot?
Let's do that. So,
You know,
baseball, we've got the Game 6 tonight. And at last check, I'll check the score right now. It is 5-1 Arizona in the top of the ninth.
Jesus, they're
In
going
Philly
7.
for Game 6.
They're going 7.
They're going to go to 7. And we also have the
My
Astros
sister.
in Texas tonight in Game 7. Scherzer is starting for Texas in Game 7 tonight. Who do you got in Game 7?
Boy. I'm not betting against Scherzer.
No?
Nope. I can't bet against Scherzer. He's just too good in that Texas team, man. Whew, boy. Talk about a team who could hit. I guess you did have a good point. I don't think it may not still happen, but Texas Philly would be pretty interesting. The Rangers, it'd be great to see them win a World Series. I mean,
I'm rooting for the Rangers or the Phillies.
Has there been any fat Nolan Ryan sightings? Talk about fat guys. Put him at left tackle. Did you see what he did to Robin Ventura?
Yes.
I mean, he'd be great at left tackle. No, I mean, I think they need to fix the whole playoff thing, but it has been a pretty good playoffs. I don't know. I'd still take the WBC playoffs over this, but that WBC playoffs was absolutely crackling.
We've got the video.
We have the video, everyone.
Finally figured it out. Got the video.
Wow.
It is also up on our Facebook page for everybody to relive over and over and over again. But
As
here
soon
you
as I
go.
put this hot poker in my ass, I'm going to chop my dick off.
For your viewing pleasure, here we go.
Tell me when. My name is Ryan Fitzgibbons, and I lost to the Wheel of Death on Windy City Sports Talk Live.
3, 2, 1.
Very funny, everyone. My name is Ryan Fitzgibbons, and I lost to the Wheel of Death on Windy City Sports Talk Live.
3,
Because this is great.
1.
Very funny, everyone.
Knock
the fuck out, man. Give me my gun.
My favorite part was that your son listened to me. And I went up and I talked to him and I said, hey, let your dad talk. I said, but when you do it, count 3, 2, and then before you say 1, you dump it on him so he doesn't know it's coming. and he loved that idea and he went with it. So there is Ryan paying the Doubting Thomas says just checking in. Combs looking like around Conquervice. We already saw that. Combs can't get it up. Too large to get it up. Just a big floppy decoration.
Pretty much. Sounds about right.
It's actually a little floppy decoration.
8 fucking minutes.
I'm Irish. At any rate, our wives are waiting for us. The door's open probably about 3 times for them.
Yes,
checking on
exactly.
us.
Looking
So
down here.
we're going to get out of here. Sunday.
We're
gonna be here Sunday.
We'll be back.
We'll be back on a Sunday. We've had
Sunday,
some,
10 a.m.
trying to figure everything out, trying to get everybody together. But we will be there on Sunday, and we'll be doing the Bears pregame show. Chargers this week.
Good offense.
Very good offense.
False start. Offense. The entire offensive line.
It's funnier with the too large to get it up, just a floppy decoration saying right on top of it.
All right, we're going to get out of here. Have a good night, guys. For everybody who was listening, appreciate it. Jeremiah was very active in the chat today. We appreciate you, Jeremiah. Let me get this comment off there. What the hell?
I love it. We should just keep it on all show. Next show.
We'll get out of here. Our normal time. Sunday, 10 a.m. Tell your friends. Tell your neighbors. Tell your enemies. Goodbye.
False start. Offense. The entire offensive